How you doing? I'm Big D. What I want to discuss today is why you might want to have silver in your safe, not someone else's safe, meaning certificates. Now, I believe this is the end game of the fiat system, and I'm going to explain why. 4 mints right now, major mints, not, a little mint that might be doing some leftover coinage that really doesn't mean anything. Quarters, dimes, in the metals that they're not meant to be made out of. My opinion, of course. Now, there's a huge deficit in silver mining. And this has been like this for years. Now, first time in modern financial history, once a pillar of institutional supply, the Royal Canadian Mint has completely shut down. Distributing of the 10 ounce and the 100 ounce silver bars. These are not minor collectibles, of course. They are the very lifeblood of the institutional silver demand. Never before has the Canadian Mint failed to deliver these bars to markets, past and present. Buyers are getting a simple answer: none in stock. And no timeline for resupply. Don't even waste your time asking. Now, the Australian Mint, trusted worldwide, has fully suspended all sales of silver products. Not a single coin or bar leaves the facility, effectively erasing on one of the world's key sources. You can look that up. Don't take my word for it. Please do your own research. Now, this is a key source of new physical supply for the world. Now, let's go to Britain. The U.S. Royal Mint has listed and limited sales to 1 ounce coins only. No 5 ounce, 10 ounce. You could find kilos. You could find 1,000 ounce bars. Not anymore. Formerly reliable for large bars and coins. Now, the Britannia series is now drastically constrained, with every larger denomination barred for sale. Europe's last channel for institution size silver is closed. Add this to the complete halt of silver Krugerrands in production at South Africa's Rand refinery, and a stunning picture emerges. A full-blown crash is in supply in every global mint. The London metal market, they have limited sales as well. This is the hub of the global silver trading. It has no liquidity of silver available for spot delivery. Again, this is huge. You need to pay attention. Listen. Physical silver is gone at the prevailing market price, and anything remaining is being snatched up for private vaulting at escalating premiums. Premiums meaning you pay spot. Right now, it might be $52, $51, $52, fluctuating back and forth the last couple of days in the United States through the COMEX, right? You might go on to any of the exchanges. You might be using, you could be, let me pull up one for you. Actually, I can't. You might pull up looking for metals, silver, gold, whatever you're looking for, and you want to find an exchange company online. You're going to pay spot and sometimes plus $2 or $3 on top of that, not including depending on how you pay, you're going to pay another $1, $2, $3 on top of that as well. Premiums are killing us, especially because there is no silver available. Now, let's look at some of the reasons why silver is being snatched up on a regular basis. You have the most solar panel hitting the market being installed in homes throughout the world. Every solar panel, minimum, it's approximately 20 grams of silver. Remember, a troy ounce is about 32 grams. Now, this is per panel. And if you live in an area like I do, where there are solar farms, it seems like every couple of miles you find another solar farm that's got to be 20, 30, maybe 100 acres of solar panels. It's an ugly sight. And they're very inefficient. If you look into them, this has all been a scam. My opinion, I'll also look into that. Now, obviously, depending on how old the panel is versus new production, they're finding ways to be able to produce these panels with less and less silver because of the cost is going up, along with they want to make it reliable, but they also want to sell it with the least amount of silver as possible. Now, that's just one thing. Now, two of the main suppliers of these solar panels and manufacturing is India and China, and they're buying up as much silver as possible. And like I said, there's a huge deficit. You can't go to the mints any longer to buy coin, but these companies are buying bars, 1,000-ounce bars, maybe even larger, to produce the things that they need. Let alone all these electric car companies. They need a large amount as well. Now, let's look at solar panels in general. In 2023, the world installed 450 gigawatts of solar panels, which is 87% more than 2022. In 2024, the world installed 600 plus gigawatts. Now, 2025 is set to almost double the gigawatts of panels that they have ever. Now, the main silver mines, which are, let's start from the number one, which is Mexico. Number two is China, Peru, Bolivia, and Poland. Those are the largest mining silver mines. Now, you have to look at also mines for gold, copper, other precious metals. They have a byproduct. That byproduct is silver. The more that they mine those individual gold and whatever, they go for the gold because obviously that's one of the most cost-effective money makers. Silver is they dig up 100 pounds of gold, they might have 10 pounds of silver that they find. That's why it's called a byproduct. Now, every year, and it's been like this for a while, but it's slowly trickling down, there's about 800 million ounces per year of silver that is mined throughout the world. That's not a lot. There's 1.5 million ounces that is a deficit of what is actually needed for all of the industry like I stated before, solar panels. We got electric cars, EVs. You got cars in general. Anything that has an electronic device in it, or your cell phone, laptops. It could be your washer and dryer in your home. It could be anything electronic is going to have certain amount of silver in it. The more those components are made, and the more silver goes out the window, and it's never recovered. You might see on YouTube, someone actually recovers gold from electronic devices. You're not going to see that with silver. It's at, like I said, about $52 an ounce. You're not going to tear apart a laptop to get it, a minute amount, because it probably won't even cover the acid you need. Just to do the recovery process. Now, at least a 5-year deficit right now, we talked about this a little bit earlier, with the need of more silver because of just the craziness that is going on with the Green New Deals and the things that happened with the Democrats. They kept pushing. I do not believe it myself. There are pictures all the way back in the early 1900s where they showed the ice caps melting back quite a ways. 20 years, 30 years later, they show them already the ice forming again, back to the normal level. That's one of the reasons why. The water of the oceans, the temperature has not changed. The level of the water has not changed. We've been listening to someone like, say, Al Gore for years saying that the coastlines are going to be underwater by 2000. And guess what? Year 2000 came, that didn't happen. So nothing on this planet can take the place of silver. The demand of silver to go green again is increasing every year. Every electric car takes between 25 and 50 grams of silver. And that's on average. There could be other vehicles that are much larger. They have more performance, more engines. Like certain cars, like from Tesla, they have 3 motors on them, and they're going to require more. The lithium batteries, they require a lot more. The new batteries, the lithium, I think it was Samsung that just made a deal about 6 or 8 months ago, and they require an excessive amount. And just because of that, they were talking about 500 million ounces per year for the new batteries. Now, that's just industrial purposes. What about the reasoning for other reasons for jewelry? How about the coins, the bars? Right now we have, I think it was the U.S. Mint that is only producing 20% of the silver eagles that they produced last year. That's because they cannot get the silver. Excuse me. So let's talk about derivatives and why the silver prices have been so low. They use derivatives to suppress the silver prices, and they do it the same with gold. The true price could be $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. I think we're going to find out what's going to happen in 2026. We're already seeing record numbers that we've never seen before in silver. Now, let's talk about derivatives, okay? So, standardized agreements to buy or sell a specific quantity of silver at a set price for future date. And they use this to keep the price down because they say that it's already sold. The price of silver is by physical and paper. You might have someone buying 1,000,000 ounces, say Tesla. And then you'll have someone saying, well, I want to buy this, but it's going to be 3 months down the road, and I'm hoping for it to drop. So that's going to change the price, because that number goes along with the physical number to suppress the number or the price of silver. By doing that, the banks, they're not losing money. But if the number was, you don't want to see something like silver just skyrocket straight up. You don't want to see that. That's not a good thing. But you do want it to go up, and continuously going up, because you have inflation. 1913, you have silver prices that were right around $2. And that is the year of the Fed. Now, the Fed is not federal, nor does it have a reserve. So how do they call it a Federal Reserve? That's the funny part, right? You have to look into that, because they fought this for many years. And I think that was our downfall. They say we're independent. We have an actual date that we look at, and that date is July 4th, and we use that as a nice day off for us, right? July 4th is a celebration day of our independence. Well, if you believe that we are independent when we have a lot of the things going on that should never be. One, let's check out this. Washington, D.C., a 10-mile by 10-mile plot is not owned by the American government. Don't take my word for it. Just do a little research, and I think you'll come up with it. Gemini is one of the better AI tools, and you might want to consider that. It is free, and it is very informative without the bias, at least as much bias as GTP or some of the other ones. Well, I hope this gives you an answer of why you should be storing some silver on your own. Oh, my apologies. This is my buddy Eddie. Silver, if you bought it today at $51, $52, maybe a little premium on top of that, you are also looking at a possibility by even as soon as the end of this year. There's a lot of people talking, and I don't care if you're talking BlackRock, JP Morgan, any of the banks, the ones who actually lose money by every dollar that the silver price goes up. They're talking about a possibility at 2026 being $100 an ounce. And if the banks are talking that high, the truth is, I believe it to be much higher, because the banks are part of the central banking system. And if you want to get into a deep dive, look into the central banking system, and you would not be happy. Buying silver might be one of the best things to make sure your family is taken care of in the future. Like I said, I believe the fiat system is over. I do believe the Fed, the Federal Reserve, is going to be ending. I believe crypto is going to be the gold standard, and it's going to back our currency. We're going to have a new currency. This is what I believe. Again, look into it yourself. But I do appreciate you stopping in. God bless and have a great day, and hopefully you're protected.